we're going to spend most of the time today exploring the concept of the S-curve as a career management tool. First of all, it'd be great if you can explain for listeners what is the S-curve of learning.
Well, some of you are going to be familiar with it because it's been used for product development and been around for decades. It was originally popularized by the sociologist Everett Rogers, and as I said a moment ago, it was used to look at how an innovation would be adopted. And what he found is that they were adopted along the shape of an S. And so he was looking at how quickly a hybrid corn would be adopted. And he found that over the first 3 years, it took 5 years for 10% of the farmers in the state of Iowa in the United States to adopt this new type of corn. But then after 5 years, the next 3 years, the penetration went from 10% to 40%. So he said, this is a model, this S helps us understand how groups change over time. Well, the S curve of learning, this was the aha that I had as we were using it in investing. I thought, I think that this S curve can help us understand how individuals change. Yeah. We can use this to think about what growth looks like, what development looks like. And so at a very high level, I reimagined this S curve for individuals. And let me just walk through it very quickly. There are 3 major parts. There's a launch point, the sweet spot, and mastery. And what's happening for us is that whenever we start something new, our brains are running a predictive model. We're making predictions of what is it going to take for me to be successful in this role, in this project, in my career. And at the launch point of that S, we're making many predictions, most of which are inaccurate. And because those predictions are inaccurate, our dopamine, which is the chemical messenger of delight, it drops. And we don't like our dopamine to drop because then we're delighted. The other thing that's happening at the launch point is we're mapping new territory. It's a place we've never been, so it's cognitively, it's emotionally taxing. So we have this experience of it's thrilling, but it's also terrifying. It's also this sense of I'm overwhelmed and I'm discouraged and I'm impatient. And how come I'm not getting better faster? And your identity is shifting because you're no longer who you were, but you're not yet who you will be. And so that's the launch point, and the experience that people are having is it's not that growth isn't happening, but it feels slow. So growth is fast, but it feels slow. So that's the launch point. Then sweet spot, and I'll go through sweet spot mastery more quickly. So sweet spot, you're making predictions, they're increasingly accurate. And as they're increasingly accurate, your dopamine starts to spike. So you're having these emotional upside surprises saying, this works, yes, this works, this works. And so it's exhilarating. You feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Growth not only is fast, it feels fast. And then in mastery, again, thinking about a role, you're at the top of that mountain. You know exactly what you're doing. You've figured it all out. You're very good at it. You're an expert. You feel like you can no longer keep doing it though, because there's not much dopamine. And so you look around and you say, I've seen everything there is to see. My growth is slow. And so you've got slow and then fast and then slow as a model for how you grow. So now you can remember it. And once you understand, you have this map in your mind, it increases your capacity to grow, and you can use it to start a conversation with your people about how to develop them, how to grow them.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.